and Commissioners. My name is Irene Presti, and I own property at Willets Point, and I'm here to voice my strenuous opposition to this toxic development deal that the city has proposed for Willets Point. This all began 7 years ago when the city decided that I'm not a good enough person to own my own property and that they had what they called a higher and better use for it. To put this simply, they wanted to take my property, violate my constitutional rights, and hand it over to a well-connected developer.
Good afternoon. I'm David Schwartz. I represent Willets Point United, and many of the arguments that I want to make have been articulated by the property owners. So I just want to try to put this in perspective without being too repetitive. But if you think about it, one of the comments made by the developer was, we're going to transfer this land to private ownership. And it just stuck with me. Think about what that means. It means stealing land from private owners, private businesses, stealing the land, okay, transferring it, city taking it over, building a parking lot which has no public use whatsoever just so a private developer could buy other land for $1, which is really parkland, okay, they buy it for $1, and now they want to build a mall. You just couldn't even make this up if you thought about it. These are families, these are business owners, and Willets Point United, we represent many of the business owners in this area, and it's just scary to think that the city could steal land from these private businesses, people that are building the American dream, people that are providing for their families. And I walked the district the other day. I walked through the entire district. There are no plans to relocate these businesses. I mean, the most that they've gotten is a business card in the mail saying that there's some broker somewhere that's going to look to relocate them. And then if you go into this area, you'll see the vibrancy. I mean, it's been talked about as a toxic wasteland, anything but. This is really a jewel when you think about it, because these businesses are all interrelated with each other, and they all are working in conjunction with each other, and that's why it's so important for the relocation that these businesses are kept together, and they're really, as was articulated before, there is no plan to do that. And also, the basis of this whole plan back in 2008 were two basic concessions: living wage for retail workers, which is now not part of the current plan, and of course the affordable housing. The 2,000 units of affordable housing, which you've heard about, and there really is no plan. Had it been stated back in 2008 that the affordable housing would be put off for 10 years on some speculation that maybe ramps would be built off the Van Wyck Expressway, this plan would have never been approved. This is a bamboozle which is going on here, and I just want to make some key points, which I know you've heard already, but I just want to bring it home. First, the housing. The key affordable housing agreement has been abrogated, pushed off into the indefinite future by the developers selected by the city. As Senator Peralta stated, if City Hall put a wrecking ball to 2,000 units of affordable housing to make room for a shopping mall, it would have been front-page news, and there would have been no end to the outrage. But really, when you think about it, that's what's happened. I'm just going to state my last points. Living wage, I spoke about. The Van Wyck ramps, you've heard about, complete fiction. The parkland, you've heard about. Taking parkland from the residents of Queens and the city of New York, outrageous. That's what they've done. Corporate welfare, $200 million to buy out Willets Point, giving them another $99, and then they bought it for $1. I mean, this is just outrageous. You should reject this proposal. Thank you very much.
Let me see if there are questions for you. Michelle?
Yes.
Can you said Willets Point United. Who is that group? Briefly.
Willets Point United. There are hundreds of private businesses, entities, property owners in this area. So Willets Point United is an organization representing all of those interests. And these are real people, families, hardworking people who can't believe that they own land and having the city stealing that land to give to a private developer. It's outrageous.